Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And I had to. I had to. One of y'all came for me I did this post today. This is Saturday. It's Saturday here. But I'm feeling bratty today. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be defiant. But basically, one of you guys was like, you shouldn't use the terms of the categories. So I'm doing this video just to irritate you. Just to irritate you. And okay, I'm gonna try to explain it a little bit too before we get into this. So why do I use the categories? I use them okay, there's really two reasons. One, because it speaks to certain social cues and social things. Like, for example, I had a mid-sized queen moment today. And to be fair, if a couple more things happen, then I might have to call it. But I was at the grocery store today. It's always the grocery store. If you want to know how fat you are, go to the grocery store. Just go there. See what people say to you. No, I'm just kidding. But I was there in this sweater. And I'm always listening to music because that's me. I'm introverted girly pop, you guys know. And this kind of like, I don't know how old she was, but she had to be like 19, 20, like in that range, okay? And she walks up to me and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, where'd you get your sweater? She's like, I love it. And I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, my first thoughts were like, not me taking Anna O'Brien's place as a mid-size, BOPO influencer right now. But no, I'm just kidding. She's not even mid-size, let's be so for real. But I'm just saying, like, I felt like a mid-size BOPO influencer when she asked me. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, honestly, I thrifted it. So, but it was so funny to be asked. She was like, I love the color. It's so cute. And I was like, thank you. It was really gay. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this happened. And just to piss off the fat activists, I will say she was thin. She was quite thin. She was thin and young. And I'm cool. I'm hip. That was a mid-size queen moment. So I might have to launch an Instagram and do my mid-size BOPO fashion hauls because apparently I'm a fashionista now. I'm just kidding. But no, I just wanted to say that because that's what I'm talking about with these categories. There's these certain like things that happen where it shifts socially. So I was like, whoa. So I'll see what else happens. This happened around the time I was small fat too. I told you when I became one. And so I just say it more for the social things. It's more for the introverts. That's all. It's not like anything super serious. It's just like a way of categorizing social interactions within size, because I think it can be helpful just to have some kind of a framework on the way out. The other reason I do it is because it is a way to kind of dismantle it too, because the whole idea behind these fatness categories is that they can never change. And so to have me kind of like going down these different levels, it's also a way of kind of like ironically climbing the ladder in a way that I do it specifically because I know it probably pisses them off and it probably stings a little bit because it undermines their argument. And it's also effective for people who possibly used to believe in it. Like I said, I don't know that I'm the one that's going to wake somebody up out of fat acceptance. I wish I could, but I'm just not that like super nice girly pop. Like I'm somewhat, I'm not evil. I will say I'm not evil, but I am just so not fat acceptancy. I don't know how else to say it. So I think it could be a little bit too harsh of a transition for somebody in it, but for somebody who just got out, for somebody who is, trying to lose weight and these types of things, or for you guys who are just interested in it, I do it because it undermines their argument. It's a really good way to undermine it. It's kind of like using the language against them. Just like how I will use Taylor Swift lyrics against Swiftie fat activists, because it's just more effective. That's all. It's effective rhetorically too. So that's why I'm doing this video, because I wanted to explain why I use them. I do agree that they are a construct. They are primarily an American construct, and in some other countries we have influenced them to have these categories, which again, it doesn't really make sense because they're based on American fatness standards. So I don't even know. Like, I'm pretty sure in a lot of other countries, a small fat would just be like pretty fat, or like, whoa, you're really fat, and there's probably just like fat and thin, and that's it. I like the term midsize because it's like, it pisses a lot of people off, which I know is bad. I don't know what's up with me lately. I'm sorry. I'm still a brat, okay? I'm still really bratty right now. But I like it because it's like really, it's super cringy and it's super annoying to say, but it's like kind of addicting to say it because of that. I know that's bad. I know that's kind of petty, but also it does explain like a certain size. You can have a visual when I say it. I know y'all can. I know you haters can. So that's also why I do it. And also I love people saying like this comment. This person's like, you don't identify as she says, because you're not a sedan. I like to call myself a mid-sized sedan. I'm probably going to do that a lot in my mid era. Because I think it's hilarious. So I also just think it's funny. I do, but I think it's a good way to describe it. There's a whole like lane, there's a whole social media thing. I'm becoming a mid-size influencer, clearly. I'm going to start doing fashion haul. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? That would be so weird. No, but I'm going to see what else happens. That was a nice thing that happened today. It was really sweet, and she was really sweet, and love for the girlies. That was so sweet. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. And I love the intro. So I'm going to try not to laugh because I've already laughed at it a couple times, but let's go.
Today I'm going to tell you why I call myself a small fat and why I don't use the term mid-sized. Before I start,
I just know that would piss so many people off. I love it. The other thing I want to say too is I think they're two separate things, babes. They're not the same thing. So I think even if we're going to have this super extra like labels and stuff, you're not doing it right. Because they are two separate things. They're different. They're not the same.
I just want to preface this with a couple of things. First off, I'm not telling anybody how they should identify. I'm just talking about myself.
I'm telling you. No, I'm just kidding.
I also want to just acknowledge that I have a lot of privilege due to my body size.
Okay, one thing I will say too, I don't know what it is, but there seems to be like so much like expectation to virtue signal in small fat and in mid-size. I feel like a lot of mid-size people really virtue signal. I am not going to be one of them. I'm not. It's not in me. I'm sorry. But we will get into the cardinal sins of mid-size later. I've got so much cooking. I am like so going to be ready. I started like bookmarking things. I'm like we got this. We got this. We got this. We got it. But I will say, like, I think even with small fat, I feel like there's less of a need to virtue signal, at least to the public. But I feel like within fat acceptance, it's like, I know I have so much privilege. I know. It's like, I don't know. It's a lot. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's very virtue signaling. And it's like, I'm not going to ever say that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not doing it.
I will be getting into that. Small fat is one of the fat categories that exists as a framework to help us discuss how fat phobia affects us. It's not a perfect framework, but
I like my version better, where it's a way to describe different social categories of fatness for introverts specifically, as you extroverts can just very easily adapt. We don't always do it very well. We struggle a little bit. That's why I prioritize my fellow introverts and I talk about this, because I'm sure that not a lot of people talk about it. Okay? So I'm going to, because it's part of my lane. It's part of my experience. It's part of my triggers. Sorry, I got to talk Britishy because I'm being bratty today. Bratty tonight. Bratty. I don't know. I don't know the phrases. One of you guys told me one of them when I did my cold video, but it wasn't cold. It's warm. It's so warm. So warm. I was also... Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. I was also watching David's stream today, and there's Britishy people on there. And they were being super touristy, so I'm a little bit inspired tonight, right? I'm a little bit inspired. But what I will say is, I don't even remember what I was saying. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit off the rails. But anyways, let's continue. I literally forgot what I was saying. So, sorry. Saws. Oh my gosh, she's not even dealing with me anymore.
But I do think it can be helpful in discussing how fat phobia can affect people in various body sizes. So what is a small fat? A small fat might wear a one...
Also, I have to make this because I'm running out of small fat time. We're running out of time. I can feel it, the hourglass. It's over there. I'm like, you need to like do this as much as you can still, even though I'm getting all this mid-size stuff together.
1X or a 2X, maybe a size.
I'm a 1X. This is a 1X sweater. It's a 1X jumper. I don't know if they would call this a jumper, but I'm going to be extra. Because I got my trainers, I got my jumper, you know. It's nice. It's warm outside. I'm not sure how many degrees it would be in Celsius because I'm not actually British. I'm sure you're shocked. But it was like 59 degrees today. So that was everything. I loved it. Oh, it was so beautiful. So the South is kind of coming through right now this winter. So I'm happy. That's why I'm a little bit like, I'm happy.
16. I myself might also fit into occasional straight sizes if it's something that's like stretchy or really loose fitting. It's not an exact size or body type. As a small fat, I do experience some degree of medical fat phobia. I have had issues with doctors taking weight loss seriously because of the size I already was. However, I'm almost certainly not going to be denied life-saving surgeries because of my size. I might have trouble finding clothing.
What? The size that she was? What does that mean?
There's a lot of places I can't shop at. It is definitely more difficult for me to find things to purchase. However, I can go to a brick and mortar store and usually find something that will fit over my body. It might not be in my style, it might be expensive, but I can find something that will fit over my body.
What is that standard? That is so extra. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Gosh, I'll have to do a video when I can shop in a like one of those stores, I guess, because it's a huge deal apparently. I have just been thrifting. I'm a thrifter. I have been addicted to thrifting a little bit. Like, I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, I want to go again. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go again. I bought some cute shorts the last time I went. I'm trying to get, like, some summer stuff because I don't know. See, I don't know. I'm having fun, actually, with buying smaller stuff. And by the way, I have to go down in underwear size tonight. Or not tonight. Tomorrow. I can change my underwear tomorrow. But anyways, I have to, like, go down in a size. So I'm going to be a 1X in undies. 1X. Period. Anyways, okay, let's continue.
I've experienced intrapersonal fat phobia in my life from peers, from teachers, from my parents, but I can physically fit in pretty much all of the places I go. I don't have to call ahead and make sure that my body size can be accommodated. I've seen the sentiment a lot that people don't want to identify as small fats because they worry they are taking space away from people that are more marginalized than them. But if you're informed and calling yourself a small fat, that's an acknowledgement of your privilege. A small fat, I'm saying, yes, I'm on the fat spectrum. Yes, I experience fat phobia. But
Okay, so I wonder, like, I remember there was a time, which this is an older video. I remember there was a time when it was like, if you identify as mid-sized, then you're trying to distance yourself from being fat and blah, 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 blah. And they're like really, really extra about it. But for me, it's just like, I see it as size in general is a spectrum. It is a spectrum of a thing. So how do I talk about it if I'm technically not fat anymore by an American standard, which I am in America, and again, TikTok, fat acceptance, all that stuff, how we talk about it online, it is a thing. It's like, it's a way of categorizing so people understand what I'm saying. You don't go from being fat to thin in a day. It just doesn't happen. So what else do we do to describe it? That's kind of my take on it. Like, I feel like midsize is a good term just because it's like you're not really fat anymore, but you're also not thin. You're technically overweight still. Like, you're technically on like a higher level of weight. And it's just a really easy way to kind of describe it. And so to me, it's like, I understand the weird, like, virtue, like, they act like it's a virtue signal of, like, oh, well, I'm not fat. I want to distance myself from being fat. And it's like, okay, I guess I do. Sure. But it's also like, I'm not. And I acknowledge that there's an in-between. And I think most people that are really fat or that have been super fat or whatever, or that are fat in general, they kind of can see that there is an in-between, or people who have gained, there is like a phase. Like, even like when I talked to Eric, because I asked him, you know, I talk to different people about it. But I asked him, I was like, how was your mid-size era? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, I just partied all the time. He was like, you got to develop a personality. He was like, and my personality was I was party girl. That's basically what he said. He said he was in his Kesha era. He was like Kesha. He was just messy, hot mess party girl vibes because he was young when he was mid-size. And it's like, ooh, yikes. No, I'm just kidding. Yikes on the personality point. Eric, thanks a lot. No, telling me, gotta work on it, I guess. But anyways, but it was just funny because it's like people know what you mean. And I think that's what matters about it. That's why I use it. But I also will use it as soon as I possibly can just to piss them off too. Because I can, you know? So I don't know. I have like petty reasons for using it, but I also have real reasons. I have a lot of reasons. But I don't think, from how she looks, I would probably consider her mid-size, honestly. So, as a small fat person, I feel like you're trying to take up space in my position, or whatever the hell they would say. Sorry, I messed that up. But I don't care. You're trying to take up space in my lane, and I don't appreciate it.
I also have lots of privilege due to my body size. And I am not the center of fat liberation. I am not the center of body positivity. I'm going to leave a link to an article in the comments. And if you want to learn more about this, I really suggest you read it. Today, I'm going to tell you why.
Gosh, what does she even say? I feel like I said a lot more than her. And I was like all over the place. But anyways, you guys, I hope I clarified some things in this. I hope you had fun. I hope you loved it. And I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Again, we're back. We're back to normal. I'm filming this a little early. Look at me being like a hardworking you know, I'm an ambitious boho midsize influencer fashionista. So what can I say? I'm busy. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.